questions?
Hey, Tom, I think you've talked before about it's not who starts, but how you finish. And I guess Josh, whole fourth quarter and the contribution he made down the stretch there.
Yeah, hard-fought game. I thought we got off to a good start, then we got into foul trouble. And then we finished the half pretty good. And then we were at our best in the fourth. And a lot of guys stepped up. I thought Cat's presence, Josh all around play, doing what Josh does, everything. I thought Deuce gave us good minutes when Jalen was in foul trouble. OG was terrific throughout. Mitch gave us good minutes. And then Landry and DeLon did a really good job as well.
Tom, obviously Towns 20 in the fourth. Just was there a concerted effort to seek him and hunt him, especially with the lineups that you had on
Yeah,
the floor?
well, I think that's sort of the mantra of the team. They're unselfish guys. When someone gets going, you try to continue to keep them going, and that's recognizing what's working. And so it was everyone working together to find open shots for them, which I think is important.
Tom, you often talk about like next man up mentality. Right over here, DeLon and Landry, two veterans who hadn't played much, were out there on the floor when you guys really started to stabilize that. I guess the importance of having veterans on a team like this.
Yeah, the high character guys, and both guys have done a good job. And we picked up DeLon late, but Landry's been terrific all year. And he had the unfortunate injury in training camp or preseason. But he's played really well, and he's great for the team. He's always ready, and the same could be said for DeLon. So they're really, really good pros. And when I say that, I mean they do the right thing every day, and that goes a long way. It's not just lip service; it's actually doing the actual work, which I think is important.
Tom, your guys, over the course of time since you've been with the Knicks, they play tough. They play through injuries, but Karl was grabbing his knee pretty good, and then Josh fell awkwardly on his knee. Do you have any concern with either of those guys for Game 4?
No, I don't know if you're aware, but our medical team is voted the best in the league. So they are tough-minded. I think it's at this time of the year, the mental toughness is probably more important than the physical toughness, and both of those guys are mentally tough, which I think is huge.
DeLon and Landry, obviously, you just said had such a big impact. What about the game did you see that had you give them all that playing time and more playing time than they usually get?
Well, foul trouble probably helped. Yeah, but like we were gonna play him, put him in the rotation just to get a different look, and it ended up unfolding because Deuce picked up 3 fouls in a minute and 22. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. So there was some unusual calls, to say the least.
Tom, that's what I was going to ask you about Deuce, those 3 quick fouls, but then he had that one spurt where I think he scored 7 or 8 points in a row for you guys.
Yeah, it's not easy to do, particularly when, like you go to the bench after a minute and then you got to still stay in the game mentally. And so, but I thought his intensity was huge for us. He's a catalyst. It's his defense, his hustle, and I think it gives people energy when you see him flying around like that.
Tom, it's now 3 wins when you've been down by 20 in the playoffs. Can you kind of put into words what that's like as someone who's been around this game for a long time?
Yeah, and I think it's, sort of in playoff basketball, I know you guys like roll your eyes when I say no lead is safe, but no lead is safe because I think with the 3-point shot, people make up ground quickly, pace of the game, make up ground quickly. So you see comebacks all the time, and if you let up just a little bit, that's what happens. And so you got to win games different ways. Obviously, you prefer to play from a lead, but if whatever it is that you have to do, that's what you have to do to get the win in the end. And going into the game, we talked about you don't play the series, you play the game. Just focus in on what it takes to win tonight's game. That's all we're thinking about.
Hey, Tom, the lineup change. What can you kind of take us through? What went into that decision?
We could.
You could,
but we won't.
You did though. You did actually. You actually did it. So what went behind actually doing it?
Yeah, and again the same thing. And I said this to you guys earlier, it really didn't impact either guy from a minute standpoint. So to me, when Mitch was coming off the bench, he's a starter coming off the bench. Josh comes off the bench, he's a starter coming off the bench. Their minutes are going to be the same. And both guys mix and match. They both guys are comfortable with both units. And the thing that I love about Josh is the unselfishness. Like he's one, like, you're concerned because you're not only impacting him, but you're impacting other guys in the starting lineup. So you got to make sure that that's all good. And then you're also impacting the second unit in a different way. So then you got to figure out, okay, how could we put this all together where we can make it work? And so that also factored into those other guys working in so we could get all the things that each guy provided for both units.
Tom, can you talk a little bit more? I know you said people realized he was hot and they were getting the ball to Cat, but I mean, he was dunking, he was shooting threes. I mean, he was doing it when Jalen, your other top scorers, in major foul trouble. What's that like to watch for you guys?
That's great. I think everyone has different strengths and weaknesses. And so we always talk about playing smart. And when you're playing smart, you're playing to your strengths and you're covering up your weaknesses. So you can't get here without being a great player. So whatever it is that you do great, that's what we want you to lock into. And not only understanding what you do well, but also understand what your teammates do well. So lead them into the things that they do well and cover up what their weaknesses are. When you do that, you're playing smart and you're enhancing your chances of winning. And Cat, as we know, is a very gifted scorer. He can score 3 different levels. He's comfortable at the three-point line. He's comfortable putting it on the floor. He's comfortable playing back to the basket. So as long as he stays aggressive, it's a huge plus for us. And then the double team comes, and then he can make off that.
Hey, Tom,
we don't see Jalen on the bench often when you guys are playing well in the fourth quarter. Obviously, he has the foul trouble. He comes off, I think, 7 minutes to go. He comes back 1:45 or so. How are you determining, all right, it's time to go back to Jalen at this point?
Probably more time and score, and just, trying to get it to the point where you felt like, okay, what do we need in the game right now? And the group was sort of had in a good rhythm. So we probably went a little bit longer than normal, but I didn't like it. It was hard. Like even, Mikhail's last foul, it was hard to judge how they were calling the game. So that was a big concern. And I knew we had to have him down the stretch. So,
Tom, less specifically about who got added to the rotation tonight, but normally as the series goes along, especially if it's a 2-0 deficit or something, a coach will shorten the rotation. You decided to lengthen yours. How did you come to that decision to kind of expand it to 9?
Whatever gives your team the best chance to win. I don't really. You guys always, I know you try to put everything into a box. I don't work that way. So, like people think, oh, I want a low-scoring game. No, I just want one more point than they have. I don't care if it's low-scoring, high-scoring, medium-scoring. I just want to win. That's the bottom line. Whatever gives us the best chance to win, that's what we're going to do. And so that's what I felt was going to give us the best chance to win tonight's game. So that's why we did it.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Cat. Cat, Knicks Pacers has one of the most emotional rivalry histories in the league, and now you're a part of it. In a series like this, after a performance like tonight, Dominican Mother's Day, what part of your game or your mindset do you think just adds your name to it?
I'm just happy our team was able to get one in the left column. To get a win tonight is big for our team and in the series as well. Looking at a 2-0 deficit, possibly a 3-0 deficit, it was just important for us to find a way to win. And as a team, we found a way to do that tonight.
Cat, that 8-minute stretch to start the fourth quarter. What did you have going there, and what did you see there that made you so
teammates put me in great spots to succeed, and I just wanted to capitalize on the opportunity. And just all of us were just doing whatever it takes to win and put ourselves in a position to get back in the game. One, and two, put ourselves in a position where at the end of the game we could find ourselves with a chance to win. So it's a shout out to the locker room. All of us finding a way.
This one's for either one of you. Obviously, Landry and Delon both came in and gave you guys big minutes that helped you guys propel the lead. Josh had a role change and still played strong down the stretch. I guess, what does it say about some of the veterans on this team and the importance of having vets like that and guys who can be ready when their number is called?
Yeah, it says a lot. The professionalism they have and do whatever it takes to win. And we have a close-knit locker room and just the way that the guys prepared and were ready to go tonight and not being discouraged with our deficit and continuing to fight back speaks volumes for what those guys did tonight.
Jalen, you got in foul trouble again. You struggled with your shot a little bit early. What does it say about your mentality that you come back in the game late in the fourth quarter and you hit one of the biggest shots of the game?
Honestly, just focusing on the moment and clearing my mind and not really worrying about what's happened previously. And yeah.
For either of you guys, obviously big win tonight. Could have had game one or game two. So you're down 2-1 in this series. I'd love to know what you make of this series so far.
It's a series.
It's unpredictable. I mean, obviously, no lead safe, and both teams are going to continue to fight to the buzzer. And got a lot of respect for them over there. And we just got to continue to keep playing our style of basketball, keep grinding it out.
I guess for either one of you, you guys have done this before, down 20, but down 20, a lot of things, foul trouble, things aren't going right. Just kind of, what does it say about the mental toughness of this team?
It says a lot. In the locker room, we talked about the biggest part of our comeback and everything was, we could quickly start to point fingers. We can quickly start to just turn on each other. But we got together as a team, and we made sure that everyone was encouraging each other and making sure that it's not over. We got to keep fighting, keep chipping away. And we did that. And I'm just proud from the way we responded. And, yeah, we needed it.
Karl, in that fourth quarter, you just seemed to be extremely locked into game time situation at kind of every possession. Even when you didn't have an outlet, bringing the ball up a few times and playmaking from there or going straight to the hoop. What inspired you to kind of pursue that quarter with that level of aggression and intensity?
Just saw an opportunity. Saw an opportunity to utilize all those hours I put into the gym. And game wasn't looking great for me as well, but for all of us. And I just wanted to do whatever it takes to help put us in a position to win. And like I said, it's a testament to my teammates, having trusted me and giving me, putting me in spots where I could succeed and utilize my talent. So it's just testing, shout out to the guys in the locker room. This is a great team win. But we know we got to be better than we were tonight if we expect to find a way to get another win.
Hey, Jalen, what do you think was going on first 3 or 4 quarter, or most of the fourth quarter that kind of got in your way? Was it the defense? You seemed really frustrated?
Sorry, when?
I would say most of the game, like up until you came back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an emotional game. It's a long game. Things can happen. Things can not go your way, and you can easily, obviously, crash out, or you can respond the right way. And
Crash out. I love that.
That's what came to mind. But I got people in my corner, people on this team who believe in me and believe in us, and so just the conversations that we have as a team and the encouragement, everything we do, is important, and especially throughout a 48-minute game. And so, I continue to believe.
Carl, just following up on that emotional game kind of conversation, wondering what was the last, day like for you? Frustrating fourth quarter, frustrating. You mentioned that the game wasn't looking so great the first three quarters. Are you able to compartmentalize, put those things behind you? What was your thought process like as you moved from New York to Indiana here?
Just, fourth quarter is different. It feels like a whole nother game. So just let, last game, those 3 quarters go and just focus on giving yourself a chance to win the game. I just, like I said, my teammates put me in spots to succeed. And to piggyback on the question earlier, did you expect anything less from JB? I mean, he got that award for a reason. So we knew when we got in that fourth quarter, we got late in the game. He came back in the game. I think we all felt very confident. If we could get him the ball, we would see some buckets happen.
This is for either one of you guys, but and this might be the third or fourth time where you guys have seen a 20-point deficit and then just erased it.
We're not proud of that.
I know. And I know you guys would rather not be down 20, but the facts are when you are down 20, you come back to win. Just what happens in those moments where you're staring a deep deficit down that allows you guys to rally together and find a way to win where other
I think
teams
it's like
might
what
not?
JB said, just that locker room, it's a true test of we're actually that close in that locker room, if that unity, that continuity is truly there. When you're down, like you said, 20 plus, it tests the character of everyone in that locker room and our willingness to not give up and continue to fight. So, like I've said before, I think this team has shown grittiness all year. Detroit series, Boston series. Tonight was a night we got to show that kind of that never say quit attitude, and it's a testament to everyone in that locker room.
Jalen, in the first half, there were a couple moments where when you guys came out of a timeout, it looked like you would huddle the guys up after that. I don't know if I've seen that at least as much as you did it today. Maybe I'm wrong. Just kind of what was your thought process in making sure you guys talked again before you went back out there and taking that approach at that point in the game?
Just making sure we're all on the same page. Simple as that.
Jalen, Josh was saying talking about the decision to come off the bench. Said that he had been having a conversation with Tibbs for a couple days now, since I guess after Game 5 of Boston.
Yep.
Just kind of, what does that say about him, that this is a guy who's been a starter all year, very productive, and is suggesting that?
Yeah, he wants to win, and it just shows who he is as a person, as a player, as a teammate. Doesn't care for anything individual, just wants to win, and so that's a true testament of a great teammate.
Appreciate it.